Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Kreepy and the Bus, and we're bringing you Drake Expectations.
Alright folks, so this is actually one of the most complicated challenges that you'll find in the game. I'm showing you right now the cards that you have in your hand. The Sage Owl is actually going to be a really key card. The Time Warp obviously is key, probably one of the most key things that you could ever have in a deck. Rupture is going to be kind of one of the final things that you see. And so we start off here by casting the Time Warp on yourself. Every spell that you cast, because you're a little magical merfolk guy down there on the field, is actually going to give you another 2/2 Drake. So that's great news. So here you're going to see quite a bit of deliberation happen. So to explain what you got here, you have a Blaze, which is a red mana and X, lets you deal that amount of damage to the target player. You aren't even going to kind of use that. Furnace of Wrath is going to double whatever damage you do to the player. It also doubles the damage to you. That's going to be the most key card here in the next four outside of the other Time Warp. So if you see here, I'm kind of looking at the Blaze because I'm trying to do the math and make sure that we have enough attack power to kill the guy. Big problem here that I end up coming across is that this card is ridiculously tricky. When you do the Sage Owl, you'd think that the thing that you pick first is the card that you get first. It is not. In fact, the thing that you picked first is the very last card that you get. So you want to make sure that you pick the Time Warp last, because that'll be the thing that goes to the top of the stack. The Blaze you don't really need, so that can go whenever. The other two cards are about the same. So right now, you're going to see Rupture. Rupture we're going to use here in just a second to sacrifice the merfolk guy. First, we're going to go ahead and skip our turn. You see a little bit more deliberation there.
Interesting choice.
Yep. Skipping your turn, really handy in this challenge. Not normally. Don't do this in real Magic. Also, don't let your opponent be 42 to single-digit life in real Magic. That is not a good winning strategy.
Yeah, it validates your suck.
Yep. In fact, pretty much all of these challenges assume that you are terrible. Every single one of them. Like, you've just completely forgotten how to play, and then you go from there. So we just cast the Time Warp on ourselves, cast the Reverberate. That's doubling the spells there. So we get to choose a new target. If you pick Garrick, again, that's going to kind of be a failure on your part, but we'll go with the theme of the match so far.
Yep.
So that it's right after this, we're going to skip our turn again. You're going to see me deliberate about that for a second. Right now, what I'm showing you is what he's got on the other side of the field, which is why we're having to go to that effort. So those 4/4 Vigilance Spiders mean that any creature that you have that swings over there has to have better than a 4 attack power. Otherwise, they're just going to die, which is why you see us sitting here building our army. However, because of the Time Warp, we now have 2 extra turns to kind of do what we will there.
So if you haven't figured it out by now, the running theme is that you're basically retarded on every level, and then all of a sudden you find your A game and learn how to play this game.
It's a great strategy for if you're playing online, I guess, you know, to really throw people off. Like, oh, you think you beat me, but I'm actually holding every good card in my deck.
Losing! Oh, wait a minute! I've got it!
And that's, so, essentially what we're doing right now is we're casting both of our add 2/2 Drake cards, which actually adds 3 2/2 Drakes. Pretty awesome. That Merfolk is genuinely one of the best cards in the entire Power End deck. So if you're looking at what you should play with during the regular game, it's genuinely a great card. I think it's the first card that you unlock during the campaign. So we're about to use our Rupture here on the next turn. Again, really we're only here to kind of show you what's going on the battlefield. You really can skip these turns. The most important turn is the 4th turn that you take. If only every Magic game would give you 4 turns to your opponent's 1, then 42 life probably wouldn't be a problem for anybody.
But it's that early retard that really hurts you.
It is. It's true. Never does anything for anybody. So the first thing that you need to play is obviously the Rage, Furnace of Doom or whatnot. There you go, Furnace of Wrath. So you'll throw that down on the table. And right after that, then you're going to go ahead and play that Rupture, which is why we highlighted it again there, show you what we're talking about. And you want to pick the legendary creature that I've been talking about how awesome it is. It hurts me a little bit when I do that, but that gets rid of all the spiders. It doubles the damage there, so normally it would just do 2 damage because he has 2 attack power. It doubles it because of your Rage Furnace of Doom. and then you go ahead and swing all of your flyers, and all of the flyers are also going to do double damage because of the Rage Furnace of Doom. So it makes Garrick's life, which seems completely out of control and unmanageable, incredibly manageable, and lets you pull a win completely out of your ass.
Which, starting your position of eating a bowl of retard isn't too bad.
It's true. So, considering that you started with the bowl of retard for breakfast, congratulations.
Hey, we win!